let's talk about one of ancient India's most mysterious stories. It's a tale about a mountain with a seriously sinister name, the mountain that swallows seers.
I know, it sounds like something straight out of a horror movie, doesn't it? But what if I told you that this very question is actually the key to a profound teaching, one that's been hiding in plain sight for centuries?
So picture this, we're going back over 2,500 years. The Buddha is talking with his followers near a bunch of mountains in a place called Rājagaha. He points out a few famous peaks and mentions, their names have all changed over time.
But then he points to one specific mountain, and he says, this one, Isigili. Well, it had always been called Isigili. Its name never changed. And the reason why is, well, it's a little unsettling.
Because in the ancient Pali language, Isigili literally means the seer swallower, as in the mountain that swallows the wise. Yeah, it's a chilling name that comes directly from local folklore.
So what was this story that everyone was telling? I mean, why on earth would you give a mountain such a terrifying name?
Well, this is the actual phrase people would use, pulled right from the source text. When they saw what was happening, they would literally say, "This mountain, it swallows these seers."
And what they saw was this. 500 wise sages, these seers, were seen just walking into a crack in the mountain. They went in and were never seen again. They just vanished, swallowed.
And this, right here, is where our investigation really begins. Because the Buddha shares this spooky folklore, this very literal story, and then he subtly hints that there's a deeper meaning, that there's a hidden code locked inside the language itself.
See, this isn't just a ghost story. It's a masterclass in language, where the intended meaning is so much more profound than the literal one. We just have to find the key.
This story is really working on two levels. You've got the literal meaning, that's the scary campfire story everyone hears. But underneath that, there's the intended meaning, the deep lesson we're meant to feel. To uncover it, we have to crack two key words.
Let's start with that first word, isi, which is the word they use for those sages who disappeared.
Now on the surface, Isi means a seer, a wise person who simply sees things. It's a really passive idea, right? They just possess knowledge, they just see.
But language has layers, and if we trace this word all the way back to its most ancient linguistic root, the one the Buddha's audience would have just intuitively understood, a totally different picture emerges. And here's the big shift. The root isn't about passively seeing, it's about actively seeking. It means to strive, to push towards a goal. And just like that, these people aren't seers anymore, they are seekers. The entire meaning flips from passive to active.
Okay, so the seers are actually seekers. That's the first half of the code, unlocked. Now for that second key, the verb galati, to swallow.
The literal everyday translation is exactly what you'd think. It means to swallow, to consume, to devour. It's a violent, physical act. The mountain eats them.
But just like with easy, there's another layer here. There's a deeper, more poetic, and really the intended meaning just waiting there in the language. It's a meaning that moves beyond the physical and way into the metaphorical.
And here it is. Galati can also mean to absorb completely, to merge with something until there's no separation. Like a drop of ink dissolving in water. It isn't destroyed, it's just fully integrated. It becomes one with the water, a total, peaceful absorption.
So now we have the keys. The seers are seekers, and swallowing is really absorbing. Let's put this decoded message back together and see what new story comes out.
And this is the complete transformation. That old folktale, the mountain that swallows seers, was actually a code for a profound spiritual truth, the final goal that absorbs the striver. The journey of seeking doesn't end in death, it ends in complete union with the destination.
And just to drive this point home, the Buddha lists the names of these 500 seekers. And their names aren't like John or Jane. They're more like titles, descriptions of their achievements. They are called things like the unconquered, the one whose name is truth, the one with a developed self. These names are proof that they were active strivers who actually achieved their goal.
So the mountain isn't a monster. It's not a tomb, it's a metaphor for enlightenment, for nirvana, the ultimate goal. Vanishing into the mountain doesn't mean dying, it means you've arrived. The seeker has been fully absorbed by the goal, the journey is complete.
This ancient story is such a powerful reminder that the words we use are often just the surface layer, and just beneath them, entire worlds of meaning can be hidden.
I mean, think about it. The difference between swallow and absorb, between a seer and a seeker, that was the difference between a local horror story and a timeless spiritual teaching. It really makes you wonder, what secrets are hiding in the words we use every single day, just waiting to be unlocked?